For more on the Motlanthe inquiry report, we're joined now by the MDC spokesperson Nkululeko Sibanda, who joins us via Skype. Mr. Sibanda, good morning to you. So, are you satisfied with the findings of the Kgalema Motlanthe inquiry?
I think that by and large, if you look at the response and reaction from Zimbabweans, there is a sense here of disbelief at some of the things that the Commission has found, which have no bearing in what Zimbabweans here experienced and what we saw on the day. You talk about the numbers of people that were in the streets, the assertion that the deployment of the military was lawful to start with. I think those things are concerning. It looked like ZANU-PF with this commission attempted to play a little bit of Russian roulette because certainly some of the aspects of the report indicate or use a lot of ZANU-PF propaganda messages. In 7 places in just one report, you find the use of statements such as that Mnangagwa has brought about a new dispensation, is bringing about change. Those things are certainly concerning, but look, this is a prima facie reading or interpretation of the report. Very shortly, there will be a full-on response, I think, by the party and certainly by the president.
Just going by what you have said in the last few seconds, Mr. Sibanda, I don't find any optimism in your voice. Are you saying that this report is essentially a whitewash?
Yes, the Zimbabwean people, the chit-chatter, whoever you talk to, are extremely disappointed that a high-level commission, one chaired by a former South African president, is unable or unwilling or looked scared or timid to look at the issues as they are and failed to grow beyond just an attempt to play some kind of impartial looking at both sides, a diplomatic approach. What is needed when people are killed and people are dead, 6 dead and 35, their lives changed forever with those injuries from the military and the police? You clearly needed to get at the truth and not to try and find balance on the cheap. The report really tries to balance itself on a very cheap basis where the truth is sacrificed, and as I say, in various sections it reads like ZANU-PF's 2023 election manifesto.
And how do you respond to some of what is contained in this report, the assertion that the MDC itself may not have clean hands because you were, quote unquote, you may have incited violence?
The definition of incitement of violence in this situation simply goes beyond what you would have to define in terms of the Zimbabwe Constitution of Section 38, where the Zimbabwean people have an inherent and constitutional right to engage in public demonstrations. The Commission forgets that whatever violence or the bulk of the violence that took place after the military, the bulk of it after the military had started beating up people and killing several of them, and that in fact the people of Zimbabwe have the right to demonstrate. The police had to come in and do their job and do policing. In fact, what this commission tries to do is to take away the Zimbabwean people's rights to public demonstration and to association, and also that the MDC president said very clearly in no unequivocal terms that the party does not condone violence. The party has never been a party of violence. In fact, we are the trailblazer, the flag raiser for peaceful action. How could this commission forget that in the run-up to the election, the MDC held more than 5 public demonstrations, all of which were peaceful, more peaceful than any demonstration in any country, more peaceful than Martin Luther King's demonstrations. So it's shocking that a commission that also experienced our last demonstration that was led by President Nelson Chamisa is unable to realize how much discipline President Chamisa gets in his membership and in the people of Zimbabwe when they are on the streets, and simply suggest that the MDC needs training in peaceful demonstrations. We would train all the members of the commission in peaceful demonstrations. President Chamisa can do that because he has shown his capacity to hold over 100,000 people in the streets of Harare without a single incident of disturbance.
Mr. Sibanda, we're completely out of time, but I'm going to ask for leniency for my team here. I really need to put this question to you. Earlier, you spoke about a comprehensive response by the MDC. Will you be challenging the outcomes of this report in the near future? Very quickly.
I think that in the near future you will see that we will provide, the president may be able or be willing to provide a more in-depth response depending on the studies that he and the party are carrying out at the moment. So you really should expect something quite in short order.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. Nkululeko Sibanda, he speaks for the Movement for Democratic Change in Zimbabwe.